On NASDAQ or ES?
Yes, it's coming up. There's a level here that you want to pay attention to, 82 to, yeah, 82. That would be the level I'm watching here.
Okay.
If I was you guys. So this is a good level here. Let me start off with the daily sessions, and then we'll get into it. So obviously, not much changed, honestly. Friday, I would say, was a fairly boring day. I'm glad I didn't trade as much because I felt like they were suppressing the price a lot, and a lot of moves like did not have follow through. So if you guys go back, for instance, here, just turn on the session breaks. We'll go in regular. So here's your Friday, right? So they start off right low, they rip it, and then they never really broke the high, right? They never really broke the low. So what type of day was this? Anyone?
Typical range day.
This is just a range typical. This is not even, I would say this is more of a sideways than anything, guys. This is usually not the best day to trade. And if you guys probably noticed in my tone on Friday, I did catch some moves, but then I just walked away. And then when I hopped on afternoon, I wasn't really interested in trading this, guys. They were really not giving any signs of movement, right? And now when you take a look at it, right, you can even, point out, look at the range for the whole day. So the range was, I believe, 34, 35 points or so. So 34 points was the whole range. And then if you look at the day prior, just look at the value area of the day prior. The prior day value area was 42 points. And then the whole range of this day on Friday is 34 points. It immediately tells you something's totally off. So there's a big move coming, right? And the whole day prior to that was 71 points. So we almost got, we got less than half the range of the prior day, right? So some days best not to trade. I got frustrated the day prior with NQ. Then I basically took some trades in the morning on Friday with ES, but not that much, right? And as a trader, I think it's important that you guys know that it's okay to take a day off. It's okay not to trade. It's okay to be frustrated. As long as that frustration doesn't lead to revenge trading, I think that's important. Right. And a lot of you guys take that, and you start pushing trades left and right just so you can maybe get your losses back or whatever the case might be. There's no need, right? Especially if you're greened a couple of prior days, right? You just walk away and, see what the price action does, at least learn from it. All right. Well, enough on that. So if you look here, for me personally, I would say we have to break this POC here for a potential, pump higher. If you want to break this 87 or so, you can potentially go higher here, but let's see how's the ETH. It's still there. So we got to close and build some value above this range. And you see what they're failing to do here. They popped, so it's a POC here, and it's a PD value area high from Friday. I'm putting it on the POC. You can definitely put it a little higher here. You want to pay attention to candles building value here. We are after hours now, right? So it would look like they're building value for what? For potentially higher, breaking the previous day value area, rejecting it, and then the next level would be about 45.17. We have some volume nodes you could target in between, like 45.03, and then you have like 45.15. But in this case right now, they're clearly rejecting this right here, right? So this would be the clear level. Hey, build value here, hold a couple of candles tomorrow at open, and then we go higher from here. So this is your, I will call it PD value high, and then go long above, right? So we have to have a couple of candles, maybe 3 10-minute candles above, and build up higher, right? If we lose this POC right here, your bias should shift a little bit bearish, right? Especially, you see them holding this trend line here. They're attempting to do that. But there's a strong supply. It seems like they're pushing, especially around here. There's a strong supply here. They haven't been able to get over this right now. So let's see what happens, right? I mean, I would still wait for this to build some value, and then you can target 4,500 or so, probably here. And then if they clear that, you see the liquidity probably drives all the way to 45.15. That's the way I would play this tomorrow. PD value area low again, really tight. And you see the POCs are getting a little tighter here. Usually this leads to a move reversal. If you guys recall that, I showed you guys before. This would usually indicate that there's a reversal coming here. And we're still at that level on ES where we had the huge imbalance at 44.90s. We haven't shown that we want to go below yet. You know, all of these moves that we are having, see this trend line here, they really haven't shown much, like as if they want to push here below. So I would definitely watch this, right? I mean, there's a nice trend line here. Some would call it even falling wedge in some scenarios here. But, you know, unless they clear this here, 44, I would say 70 is the downfall here, the PD value area low, then we'll find the levels that we can target below because there's some nice skinny bellies right below that. But so far, I would say we're back in balance on the daily, right? We're not out of the balance. We are opening currently right below the, you know, the PD value inside the range here. So if we fail this POC, this becomes 10 points. That's highly probable. If you guys remember on Friday, remember the 70 level, we really had 70, 72 level, we really had a hard time going below it, right? And, you know, I wouldn't expect us to quickly dip below that as well, you know, tomorrow. If we happen to quickly dip there, that means there was an aggressive seller, initiative seller that came in and he had some inventory he wanted to offload, and that would be very, very important for down move. Okay. And they did try to squeeze here higher, but unsuccessful. Let me look at the weekly PVP, see what they're doing here. This is back here. Yeah, this seems like a big level here, guys. If you're able to clear this, this is a huge level. If we clear this, I mean, 45.15 would be my target, but you know, high chance we attract the opposite of the value area. So it would be the PV value area high that we're going for. And this is a pretty tight range here as well. 81 compared to this one here. Wow. Exactly right here, the buyer was found from this value area low. Yeah, this is going to be a huge level here. Anyone have 44.20 on their chart by any chance? 44.18, 44.20?
Yes, the previous POC.
It's a big level. If they fail this 44.60 or 59, yeah, there's going to be a little hiccup here about 44. I guess quadruple fours here, but ultimately they're going to hit this level, and I'll show you guys why.
I got an old CPOC down there and a June POC.
Exactly. There's a lot over
There's a
here.
VPUC at there's a VPUC at 44.55.
There's a lot here, guys. This level is huge.
Pretty much like skinny belly if they can't hold 90.
Well, if they lose this right here, you know, if they lose this 44.20, man, things get a little shaky here. Let me see, did I change this? Did? Just go here. I would not be shocked to see a spike here soon, but let's see. And there's that 44.20. I would say there's, you know, this is what June monthly POC. So you guys see a lot here. I would say that's pretty good there. If they fail this, I would say there's a probably 99% chance we're going to go here. They do have a little bit of node here, right, where they spiked from before the 44.4. I would just be cautious, right, that, you know, if you do take a short, you catch 20 points, you know, at least take something off here from this volume node here. I'll just highlight it so you guys can have it. somewhere around 44. Then the value area low would be the next. These are just bigger levels here now. And then I think this is the contract gap up. And this here is going to be, of course, huge. If you don't know about the 4140, then you're doing something wrong. So let me hide this. Just grab this guy to here. And there's the 4140 level. I mean, this is going to be retested soon. I really don't have a doubt in my mind that we're going to come back here. But I would expect a lot of buying to occur here at this level. This would be the range we're watching. And most will be excited to short it, but I would not short it close to this. And you guys see this node here, the POC is right there, and then you see a huge skinny belly here. I mean, this gets filled really, really quick if we are able to break this POC here, June POC, guaranteed to hit 4350, 100 points. And then you see that most likely this level here gets hit overnight. Or some weird gap up news or gap down, I'm sorry, news here, 4300.
Actually, you know, it's kind of funny. I'm looking at this. Like I said, you know, I had an old CPOC right there. And, but anyways, I was looking when I last had it, you know, first SIG, second SIG, third SIG. It was from when I did that. And where we're currently at, though, on ES, even that's between second and third SIG that I have labeled. That's one reason why I guess we're kind of stuck right there.
Oh yeah, there's a reason for it. So now watch this. So now this is a question kind of for all of you guys to engage a little bit. Looking at this price action, right? We're kind of trying to break this. Where's the path of least resistance?
Up.
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 Okay. Anyone else? So let's just zoom in a little bit. Let's put this at 250. Is it still up?
Well, now it kind of looks down. It's open.
There's a little bit more shelves, right? You know, a little bit more orders that they would need to go through. If you want to see a nice pump, 44.95 should be your goal level, right? Where you spike about 44.95. I mean, there's a high potential that you're going to catch about 20 points, 45.18. Conservative, this is what you play. This is the space that you're after, like right here. And I would expect this to probably happen if they're bullish, you know, if they show signs of, you know, that they want to wake up a little bit and kill some shorts. This is something that you would look at, right? You probably play it somewhere like this. Would probably get inside this node. And I mean, this would be a decent trade here. If you catch 95 on a retest, 89, so 6 points to catch, that's a pretty good reward. And I would take this trade, right? And, you know, for people that don't have the ability to wait till 18, yeah, then you target 15 somewhere around here, right? 45.10 would give you 2.5. I'll probably be in between 13 and 15 for exit. And you can find that, right, based on the shelves in more detail. But I believe if they crack 95 here, they will have a really, really strong chance to go higher. So, see what kind of liquidity are they creating here. Oh man, all the boys that play the trend line here, what do you think they're doing here?
Shorty.
They're all shorting. Every single one. So take a look at this resistance break. There was support. We got a nice bounce. Now you broke above it, but we didn't really get a nice, you know, dump here. I mean, if you want to count this is where they short, guys. This is typically the short level for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them go in and, you know, heavy short positions here. And if they fail, take this out, right? I would watch this level here, 44.78. If they take this out, I would probably get out of the way, right? Because there's a high chance they're probably going to go lower. And right now, they're coming up to that level that I just shared with you guys moments ago, right? Remember, I told you guys be careful at this level. Not be careful. I'll be looking to go long at this level. And the reason being is that, I know I'm switching a little bit between, but there was a nice imbalance. And if you're new to footprints, what would this mean? This one I circled here. Why is it?
Aggressive buyers.
There's aggressive buyers there. They're sitting on imbalance of buyers, right? So I would pay attention to this level as we are coming here right now. So let's see what they do. There was a nice but. I mean, it seems like they're losing it, but and it's a completed auction here. So let's see if they dip below this level here, 81, then you can probably target this guy here, which the 78 ring a bell. Let's go back. Why 78 ring a bell?
Yeah.
It's a previous week value area low, guys. They showed you they're not interested in below building value below that, right? Somebody maybe, is finding higher value and they're building it up here, and most likely they're gonna bounce here. So, this here, let's go in 3 minutes, see if they're giving you a reason to get in. So as of right now, just trying to zoom in a little bit. I mean, there's a strong buyer here. I mean, this is pretty big guys here. And this, you see this level here as well. So even if you take this and put your stop loss at 481, you're risking nothing here, guys, to take a trade here, but to each its own. But this is a hell of a level to go along here. And look at the volume, -178, -357, delta flying. This one increased the delta and volume, but did we make a strong lower low? And look at this now, stop loss hunt. That was a good one. And now they're gonna pump here, watch. I would not be shocked if they run a stop loss here and then they pump it from here, guys. Just for learning, watch these numbers as we come up here. So 0 lots to sell right here. They had 5 limit buyers, right? 0 here. And now watch, let's see what they do here. If they're able to take out this completed auction here, look at the wall that's being built here on 1 minute, right? This is just 1 minute for scalpers. Now you're watching to see what's happening, right? So you had some absorption happen at this level, right? You see a little bit, then they came back down. They're unable to make lower lows. They're making equal lows here and a completed auction. So now watch this. They're going to spike this up. If I was trading right now at the moment, I would probably take this long here. If you want to wait patiently, then you want to wait for this, this POC here. And see. Switch to 15 minutes. So they can potentially bounce this, not a lot to 6 points, 4 points here, but that's all you're playing after hours. You're not expecting a whole lot. Does that make sense? Everybody that's learning this? Any questions
Yes,
on this?
Yeah.
Okay, and you see now they're slowly bouncing there. Would not be shocked to see another stop loss hunt here before they move up because they want to get you out. We hit the POC to a penny, and now you see, right? I mean, I know I'm repeating a lot, but combining volume profile with the levels and the footprints, you see why it's important, right? You're coming to a key level in the footprint, and there was a large imbalance here, right? And then in the worlds of demands, you have a secret demand sitting here, right? So let's see what they do now. I'm interested really to see what they establish here. Okay. In terms of the bigger picture, right? Like I mentioned here just moments ago, I mean, if they lose that level right here on the shelf that they have, I wouldn't be shocked that, we probably visit quickly here on 72. And if this breaks, guys, I guarantee you that we're probably going to 47, 44 area. And then if we lose this, I think it's going to be choppy. The reason why will be choppy because you have these high volume nodes and they can offer, you know, bounces for them. As long as they don't do what, you're still short. Let's say we're trading 10 minutes, or let's say more realistically 5 minutes. As long as you don't see a change of character,
Change
you're
your
still,
character.
you want to stay in that trade, right? Right now, you know, it's kind of compression. They really haven't done much. If you look at this, they haven't broken the high. They're giving a lot of looks, you know, for pattern traders. If you go here, you know, it's pretty clear that they want them to bite for it, right? They want somebody to explore this price here, right? If you guys look, they're giving them all the potential looks here on every time frame, and it hasn't really worked for them yet, right? And when you look at on the larger time frames, I don't trade patterns, right? But there is a nice head and shoulder setting up here potentially, right? If you have left, if they come here, you know, the June POC, I do expect a bounce. It could start creating a right shoulder where it comes back here, bounces, creates a right shoulder, and then we get a nice move because if they dump it all at once, does that create confidence for bulls for them to empty out inventory? If they have a lot more inventory to sell, if they dump it right now, they might not get all of their inventory cleared, right? So their goal is to create confidence, right? That they missed the run to make you feel like you're missing out, right? So that's the goal. I would think that they still have a little bit of inventory, right? Whoever is selling. But if you look at the dailies, right, and the 3-day volumes, right, I don't think they're pretty much done selling here yet. Go here. So if you look here, we've only had, I would say this is our first 7 days that we had the first red candle in a while. I mean, think about it. They're selling this right here slowly because they're definitely not buying it. And then you see here, you know, you have a supply here sitting. They came there, they emptied out a little bit, and now let me just go on weekly because you guys are most likely used to weekly. And now you're seeing kind of imbalance. They bounced it up, killed some puts. Now you have an inside week building up in here, and then you know we covered a weekly, right? In the month, right? For the monthly profile here, let me just hide this. So you can see it. So on the monthly, right? Are we inside or outside the balance?
Inside.
We are inside.
No, we're outside.
We're definitely outside, right? So this is your month, right? This is your month of August. This is your July. July low is sitting at 45.07. So we're definitely outside of the monthly balance, right? We're exploring new price, and the new POC that we're targeting is here, that 44.20 level. And that's why I said it's important, right, to look at the bigger picture. So you form your bias off of the monthlies and the weeklies. Right now, the monthlies are saying, hey, we're not accepting value here, right? And that 44.90, they gotta clear this. But think about this. Would you go along here above this value area low?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Out on the retest.
I
Okay.
won't go
Well,
until we
guys,
clear the
what
other.
about this what about this value area low here? Look at this month here. Look at the June value area high. So you're going for 10 points, which is okay, but it's gonna be choppy. Look at the price action that they had. Then as soon as you break that one, you have 45.07. You really don't have much till you will not get this range to extend till 45.15 is broken, right? Or if we lose this, you know, the 72 that we talked about earlier, once we confirm that as a loss, then we're most likely going to hit that 44.20. This right now is really tight and annoying range, and a lot of you guys are getting frustrated, and I can tell because that's what they're doing, especially if you're trading options now, SPX or whatnot. You know, me and Darty traded options, and honestly, they don't even move till last 15 minutes. I traded them Friday a little bit, and they barely moved. Because they're suppressing this, they're just collecting the premiums. Maybe they don't know the next move. You know, they pumped the IV, they dropped the IV, so it's still really unclear what the direction is. Once we break 45.15, things get a little bit clear because that would mean that you're reclaiming the value area low. You did not find value below, you're reclaiming this, then most likely you're going to target the previous highs or POC first, the 45.87, which would be a good range, right? If you can catch this 45.15 to 45.87, that's pretty good. Even if you catch 50, that's much better than what they've been giving the past couple of days. And you guys saw that we had 34 points range on Friday. So this really is the, reclaim this POC, establish value inside the previous week month value area low. So we know you didn't find much value elsewhere below, right? And that's, I would say that's the key. And then when you look at this, on the cumulative, you see where we are, right? You lose this shelf here, the 72 is much cleaner for me. Once you lose that, I mean, you're most likely headed to this range here on the bottom. And, the path of least resistance right now, at least for me, is lower. If they fail, right, to build this higher value, then, I mean, they can just quickly kill the calls here because everybody's kind of buying it, right? I mean, there's still a lot of bulls when I see on Twitter or whatnot. People are still like, oh man, this is just a healthy pullback. I mean, yeah, it's a healthy pullback, right? It's not a huge pullback, but there's a level where you have to be cautious, right? I mean, because right now you're about 4% down. And if you lose this 44.20, man, I just don't see a lot of support till 41.40, guys. If people call this support right here, well, that's great. Honestly, this is nothing here. This is no support here, guys. Look at the shelves. I mean, here, I'll zoom out. I'll hide these. Does this look like a lot of support here? I don't think so. You're most likely coming back to this level 41.40 here to retest it. And I think that's a good long, like for a swing, or if you want to play SPY or whatnot, unless we announce, right, like some major war or some crap coming in, then that's a different story. But hopefully you guys are getting the message that I'm giving you. So, and here, man,
Makes sense.
they would trap so many people here below on this channel break. It would be a lot of people trapped here. They were short here, and then I think they would be surprised by this level. But let's see. And then, losing this level here, 41.40, losing 4100 would be really, really crucial here. Because right now, below that, right, if you guys look, let me go back. Touch now. We're really not, in a lot of volume here until about 2800 is the first node. And this bounce, look what they did. I mean, when you think about it, they bounced it from the skinny, low liquidity area, right? So it's not like there was a lot of, it's almost like a fix, right? The poor structure fixed, and now they bounced it. Now, if they slice through it, man, I know it sounds crazy, but ultimate goal eventually, for myself is on my long-term portfolio is to get out of my cash positions, start scaling in at 2200 and then scaling in at 1285 when it happens. And it'll happen. Okay. And if anyone took that long, did anyone take that? Whoever was trading?
I was shorted via edge.
No.
Did I tell you guys it's probably going 85? Came right here, 85, 86 area. They didn't hit the imbalance, but there's a buyer sitting here, right? Let's see. Now they have an imbalance down, not as strong. Let's see if they take this guy out. There's a completed auction. They should offer a bounce and a new long level 84, but I would not take that. This was a go long level. This is here, just chopped right now. You don't have an entry here. Oh, look, Keela took that for 700 bucks. All right, well, good job. That was a pretty decent long level. Any questions on ES? I think I beat it to death. We want to watch this. If you take this 86, I would say, just be cautious, right? I mean, you got to be quicker on these than anything else. If I was to play this, reclaim this value area high, go to 44.95, peak above, meaning build a candle above this, clear this level, and then come back and give us a decent retest, and then we take it long, right? And then I would honestly target this area right here if I was You know, if they give me this opportunity, retest long, and we drive it to this, guys. And if they do, this is beautiful play. I mean, we would catch, you know, quite a few points here. 20 points on ES is a pretty nice payday. And they're giving every possible look to these guys, man. They're just look at this. They're just baiting them, and this could be potentially inverse head and shoulders, the right shoulder being created right now. You guys see it or not? So they're baiting this a lot, and I think they'll pump from that level that we just had. I think they'll go to 86.75. They tap this, but I think that this is their target right here. All right. All right. Let's cover NQ. So some of you guys are addicts on NQ. All right. So we'll start with SVP and then we'll switch to the rest. And let's just delete all this crap. Ooh. Why is this bullish?
It's holding the POC, previous day POC.
No, very bullish, right? I think they can run from here. So usually on a downtrends, right? I mean, if we lose this tomorrow, tonight, they can dump from here. That would be a nice gap down if we lose this level here. Right. As of right now, you know, they didn't do a late spike on this. They started building here, you know, kind of, it seems like 1 o'clock, and they broke higher, broke here below it, but then, you know, ultimately they closed right at it. And now we got a huge spike. I mean, this was a decent spike, guys, like 40 points on NQ. So, I mean, as long as if they break this value area high tonight, right, 27, I think they can reclaim this and higher, because I don't see a lot of high volume nodes here, right? There's one here sitting at 72 that I'll be cautious about. But then ultimately this POC here is, you know, is going to be go long level, and they can probably spike more, right? They can target this value area high, 1321. And I think there's, you know, you have this level here between two POCs stacked together. See what they offer. Yeah, so most likely 15286. If they're able to reclaim 201, I think this will be their target right here that they're going for. I'll probably play this. Well, I'll definitely play this. Let me take that back. I would take this if they reclaim this supply here, play it up, and then catch. If you can catch 200, you know, 85 points here, this would be pretty good. But not a bad long level where it's at right now. I haven't checked it on footprints, but this is not bad. They trapped a lot of people here. Let's see what they do next. Let's just mark my level so I know if the 80% how they want to play it tomorrow. Here's our monthly first, and you see what's going on here. So the same thing here, right? We broke, right? The monthly value area, right? We're below it, but something happened here that didn't happen on ES. Does everybody see it? Anyone see it?
Because you're outside of the previous week value area.
Think bigger picture. Take a look at ES here. Watch ES on the monthly. Where's June POC? This is July. Where's June POC?
Or
Okay. Let's check NQ. Where's this one?
They went below it.
So they're already below it here. And if you take a look here, look at the candle that they're forming right now, right at it. So they consolidated right below it and they sent it lower. Which one looks stronger?
yes.
You guys look stronger here. Yeah.
Oh,
And
you're
it-
talking about which one?
Yeah, but this one can dump now, right? This one can go all the way to 56 right now, 40 points down next 10 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes. I mean, 10 points as we're speaking. So this can dump now heavily, and they can pull ES with it.
Yeah,
And
ES is dumping.
ES is pulling back as well. So NQ is, I think, pulling the market a little bit. They're probably going to sweep this liquidity, but then we can see where they want to bounce this. Yeah, nowhere. We're going to PD value area low. So most likely we're ahead. Oh my god, it's a nasty candle, man. Probably bottom here that we are headed. It looks much weaker than. So let's see, 4 hours. So on NQ, right, I would be targeting right now this level here. High confidence it happens, right? Show value area low. So we just gotta lose the PD value area low, and we're probably gonna dump here. There's some liquidity that they had here, but let's see what they do. I mean, 15,000 probably gonna offer a relief bounce for them, but looking here, honestly, it should not be that big of a bounce. They already fired away here. And NQ just looks, I mean, let me show you guys a profile on NQ here from the bottom. I'll start from here to the top. Watch this. So you really don't have anything till 14, like 6. It starts here because we're entering the skinny belly right now. So the break of 15.8 really speeds up the things on NQ. So we'll just put here. What's the wrong with these letters? So if we lose this, I mean, you're looking at, you know, a big dump all the way to about 16,000 here. This will be the next level that we are looking at, 14.6. And then they have a lot of congestion here, right? You don't want to spend too much, you know, long swings in this area, right? Because they can spike down. There's a lot of interested buyers, sellers here. And then it goes all the way down. These are big boy levels, right? But as of right now, it looks much weaker than ES. So, or ES has to catch up, right? We'll see what the way it plays out. But it looks like it's gonna take this liquidity and bounce, and then ultimately goes to 54. Yeah, let me just check the weekly on this. Outside of weekly, I mean, yeah. 15,170s previous week. Yeah, would not be long at this level. Man, this is a stacked zone here as well. And this one here, I would definitely be closing all the longs I have if they ever come to it. I would say we're high chance we're gonna head here. If we lose that, this is gonna happen quick here. I would say this happens really quick, and then if you lose that, then you're catching this move here. This is about 250 points, yeah, a little less, but has a lot of distance to cover here. So, okay. So the only way, you know, I would potentially look to go along here tomorrow is if you want to scalp above the PD POC here tomorrow, go here, and then if we break the PD value area high, that wouldn't be a bad level to, you know, change your bias a little bit, because it's also the June POC and PD value area high. My first instinct would be what as we arrive here?
For short.
Yeah, this would be a first instinct to short here, right? As you come in, this would be the bounce. It would be a lower high here, and that would be a pretty good short right here at this level. So first instinct short. The second one would be to go long here, because also they're, you know, they're building a decent, you know, apply here. Okay. Any questions on this so far? And I'm just gonna check SPY real quick to see if it's below the 445 level, and it's not. Well, I'm sorry, it is. It's not right now, but it was. 445 is super duper important for a bigger picture, and here, let me show you why. So here's the, we're just gonna take it from here to the top. Gonna hide all this here, this. You see this level, I mean, where we are right now, 444, I would say 445 is the start of the gap. If we lose this, we're most likely gonna be targeting about 437, and this is the pivotal zone. I would say 445 triggers it. If there is bears that are willing to take this price lower, then they're gonna have to break this level here. Once we break 436, you know, quick spike 427, spike down, tiny little demand zone here, and then ultimately you're coming back to about 411, 410. And, you know, considering that there's a lot of talks, and I haven't done a lot of research, somebody did, Saudi Arabia cuts. I don't know if there was more or if it's the same news from Friday. But at the same time, there's a lot of spike in natural gas in Europe, right? And remember, in April, I talked about the blend switch between summer and winter. Do you guys recall that on natural gas? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay, well, soon we're gonna have to switch for what blend? We're gonna be going to the winter blend. So, you know, the supply of it is gonna have to change. And if the prices are going up, just pay attention. Whoever has, you know, those natural gas needed for home, you're gonna, if you're up for a renewal, you're gonna be getting some letters. Pay attention to how much your gas jumps or goes lower. Right, that's what you're kind of watching for. And I ultimately think natural gas is gonna go higher. And that was one of the main reasons on CPI report why we went lower on CPI was gas, right? And not natural gas. So if those two things don't work and we spike the CPI up, it doesn't leave a lot of room for Feds, you know, to do much of anything else, but to increase maybe more rates and get more aggressive, because they could not probably achieve a soft landing, in my opinion. And they already know they're gonna fail, so.
Inflation's gonna spike back up.
It just reminds me of, you know, Walker, 1987 or so, when they did the same thing. They let go of the gas because the banks were not liquid enough. The financial system was not set up for it. I think this time, few banks are set up for it because they're conglomerates. All the other regional banks, you guys saw what happened, right? I mean, here you go. Here's your, you know, regionals. We lose this level here at 46, you know something's wrong. And we're very close to losing this. Let's see what they're doing on a weekly. Yeah, they're doing whatever they can not to lose this. So I'll definitely keep an eye on this. I just had a brain for it. ETF for financials, man. Did you have XTF?
It's DPSD as well, but that's bull.
Say it again.
DPSD.
DPSD?
Yeah, ST, but that's bullish trades.
No, I'm looking for ETF for financial X. It wasn't XTF. Okay, maybe I'll get it.
CR.
XRF?
No. Oh my god. All right. I just have a brain fart in a moment. But I would keep an eye on this level here, guys. If we do fall back inside, another bank's gonna fail here. And then on a longer picture, take a look at the dollar, right? you guys should remember this level here that, you know, we've had, I haven't touched this chart in a very long time. And I don't touch it with the purpose, you know, looking at the dollar. When the dollar loses this level, the market's gonna run. And if you guys look, you know, they have a decent zone here. They come back. If we fail here, the market's gonna go up, the dollar goes down. At the moment, I feel like they're accumulating here, and you know, of course, we don't know which way they want to go. But this level offered a relief every time. So now if we can get over this 103,382, XLF, yeah, that's the one.
XLF. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
XLF, yeah, that's the one I'm watching. I don't know why I could not in my head. XTF. Yeah, right now, what does this look like? I mean, here, even though it's not clean, right? You look at it, you know, you have on the weekly, it's almost like an SR flip, support, resistance, then a bunch of bullshit here, right? Manipulation, and now you're building up here. So if you're able to break this 35.74, I would say, you know, even on a higher note, take this 36 guy out, take this seller out here. We'll probably have a relief, right? You know, we're not going to go lower. The banks are okay. The liquidity in the banks is okay. But at the moment, you know, look at this volume here that we are selling with, right? If you take a go on the monthly and just take a look at it, look at this candle here. And we just approached the candle right here. And look what happened. Immediate rejection right there. And that's the SR level. So I'm expecting a little bit more turbulence in the banks, right? For people that, if you did buy KRE on the bottom of this level that we had 35-ish, just be cautious, right? I mean, you know, catching 13, 14 points on something like this is not bad. So just FYI where we are on a bigger picture. And then on Qs, a lot of people got excited, right? That we're gonna go all-time highs, but you know, when you think about longer time frame pictures, this is monthly, we're in middle of August. What does this candle look like?
Bearish engulfing.
It could be, you know, we are not engulfing the whole candle, but it's definitely a bearish kicker, right? So there's a high potential that, you know, we continue down, and this would actually be treated as what? In the mind of those traders, right? This is a double top, right? Lower low, lower high, and you have a double top. So for me, when something happens like this, right? If you're not able to hold this range right here, because this is the range that you entered, right? I would say, you know, structurally, you know, this is the bottom of this range, 335. If you cannot hold this 335, the rule of value area says what?
Test the other extreme.
You're going to test the other extreme. Most likely you're headed right here. So losing 334, 330s, man, it really opens up the door for a dump. And I would say, you know, structurally, if you guys just look at this from October low, let's go to December because this was kind of like consolidation. If you just draw your VPs right from here, let's say to the top, I mean, look at this. You know, they're building some support here, right? They had a nice little demand, but losing this level right here, I would say lose 360, call it 360 on a good day, just somewhere around here, right here. Lose this level, 360.98, you start to open up the doors, right? And then, you know, if you're a value area trader, which a lot of companies, I would say they are, you know, you really think they're buying at the previous highs? Oh, come on. There's no freaking way. They're looking for a discount, and a new set of buyers probably come in at 315. And, you know, if the boys are heavy on selling and they want value lower, then most likely they're going to target this here. And then if you look, this was the one supply, I don't know if you guys recall, but this was a supply that, I mean, they couldn't even come to the POC and they're selling off. So unless they hold this level and then they trigger a buying all the way to about 400, man, this could, you know, this could get really, really ugly here. You know, especially now, you know, if we start cleaning up some lows here, let's say we break this one, you're most likely headed here. Lower lows become here, you lose that, then you're probably triggering this liquidity here. They really have to act fast now. Like on the bull side, they have to be super fast. This is a huge node. They got to defend it. If they fail, I mean, most likely 320s on NQ is doable here. All of this, because if they come here below and then, I mean, think about it. If they lose this volume node and they bounce off of this one, they better find a lot of buyers $10 below to take out this massive supply that they left behind them, right? And usually that's I would say that's not really how it works on the long term. You know, they don't jump in for $10, in my opinion, on $350. And you can go, you know, look at UNG, not UNG, I'm sorry, UNH. There, you know, we had the bounce here at 450, if you guys recall from one of the watch lists. This was a good long level, but you know, for me particularly, it's a fairly expensive stock, right? It's not something that I'll be super interested in buying at 450. Sure, you can if you have a couple of $1 million, catch $50 a share. But this right here, if you just zoom out, what does it look like here? Just look.
Distribution.
I mean, it's pretty clear somebody's selling some stuff here, right? The inventory's full, and they're just trying to get rid of it. And it's the same concept here, right? The inventories are full. Now that, you know, the concept is you had a markup here, right? You had a consolidation that was very long here. I didn't mean to highlight the whole area. You had a nice little consolidation here. This is your markup, right? Well, now, unless you're finding a shitload of new buyers here for this particular stock, the next step is that you consolidate and then you have a markdown. And from this markdown, if you just take a look here, right? Here, I'll just draw this whole thing. Look what happens. Me particularly, I have the patience. I don't plan on dying very soon unless something happens. But why would I buy it at 450 with full force? I guarantee you eventually it's going to come down here. It doesn't matter what people say. You have to exercise patience. And once this hits, I don't think about it twice. And same thing happens on big boys. And people, you know, on Microsoft, I mean, they said, you know, there's no way it's going to go to this level. Well, here, I'm just going to go high to low and look at this volume node here. It was the biggest volume node, and they came and they bounced it perfectly at 214. Now, you know, you created, I mean, let's call it, you gave an opportunity for a lot of great buyers to buy it at the all-time highs, and then you dumped from it, right? And, you know, if you fail this level right here, which is, let's call it 300, what do you think they're gonna do? Take a look at the chart.
Go lower.
I would be a buyer here. I'll be a buyer here on Microsoft. I didn't buy it here. You know, I wasn't looking, but this was a huge volume node to buy, right? This is pretty nice. If you're able to catch this on, we did catch some other ones, you know, on the tech stocks, but this is a good buy here. You know, if you bought here and it goes 350, I don't think many of us in this room, in our Discord, would be looking for 10 times the money when it's a conglomerate like Microsoft, right? $150 a share is big money. So look at the longer profiles whenever you're interested in buying something, you know, like I was interested in Oxy for a long time. They came to a decent level here, to a level I got some shares here, and you know, I'm enjoying decent profits so far. But the idea is not for this to go to a moon. As soon as they approach about the 71 level, in this case, I'm not selling it right now. I think there's some other stuff that's going to happen, right? Some bigger wars potentially that would spike the oil, right? The movement of oil, the transportation would shift, cause the spike in natural gas, oil, and all that to go up. So I'm still long and I still have shares, right? I haven't trimmed any. But that's the idea, right? Look for charts. Don't get so emotional on people when masses are buying, right? I mean, this stock in particular, right? What did I tell you guys on earnings? What's going to happen to it? We talked about it. I mean, we drew this I think a day before PLTR had her ER. Does anyone recall what I said? Well, I shorted it, right? During the ER, I shorted that. And I mean, they pumped and then they sold off. Think about it. The estimates, the analysts can make up any numbers as, you know, anticipated growth in this. And then you look closer into their books, and, you know, being funded by the government can go for so long. Just take a look at BA. When the competition is there, right? And if you're not providing value, eventually you're going to be, you know, realized as a scam and you start losing contracts. And if you're willing to buy something like this at 20, but you were not willing to risk your money at 7, at 5, then something's conceptually wrong with your brain. Like something's not right. Okay. So this is your bread and butter, right? You're looking at this. I mean, any chart that you look at TLT, same concept here. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh man, this is a bad buy here. I mean, just take a look at it. Yeah, is there a bad buy? But look at the shelves that are right here. Ideally, you want to be buying at these major POCs at 120. They came and shorted it. Now they're below it, right? They're below this one, but this is a huge volume node here. This is a giant volume node. In case some shit goes sideways, they can break through, but this is not, away from buying for long term or whatever you want to play for a hedge, whatever your case is. This is my favorite. And I mean, this one is
Apple.
holding the market. And how many times did I say, are we below 175 in the past? I don't even know how many times I've repeated that. Anytime, Dirty, he watches this particular stock. I just ask if you're below 175. You lose 175, then I know where you're headed. And, this whole run up here, if you guys think about it, the whole run up here, you just draw your volume profile. I'll just go from here, let's say, to this candle here. And look, I mean, it's clearly telling you, like, they cannot build any more value above. They did not build any value. They dumped it here. They gapped down, I think, the earnings, right? They're probably going to offer some bounce here, I would say. There's a bounce coming on Apple, which will probably offer a bounce on the market. And if that happens, then I think that's great. But losing this shelf here, man, speeds it up completely. And here's your monthly candle. This does not look bullish to me, but maybe I do something different. And guys, I'm definitely not buying Apple here. I would not buy Apple with fake money. I would not buy it here. So this is a key level, this value area high of the whole run up from COVID, even before you fail to lose this. You lose this shelf 150, then you see the levels opening up, right? And then you have this at 2020 lows, right? I think 2020 lows were here. Yeah, they were at $52. And how many of you guys say no way Apple goes to 52?
Was during COVID.
Is there anyone that doesn't think Apple goes to 50?
Wow, I'd buy it there.
I'll buy it there as well.
They did a good job trapping the people on the top.
Yeah, I'm not interested in buying here, guys. Even though it's a great company, I'm telling you, their sales are going down. But even Warren Buffett, of course, he's going to defend it because they have 400 million shares of it. But if you're using it and you can't be without it, I mean, ask how many Apple users will switch to Samsung.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I know you guys hate Apple, but I can't stand Samsung.
Exactly. I mean, I love Apple products, but I don't like buying it at this price as a stock, right? I want it cheaper. So for people that consider pullbacks, this would be a nice pullback at 150. I guarantee you, we're going to get, this is a long swing entry for Apple calls here, because people will consider this as a fair discount buy. And I'm 99% sure we are headed here.
Yeah, we
If
spent
we
a lot of
fail
time
this,
there.
it's going to take something major, I would say, right? For us to lose 150. If you lose this level, then things start shaking up in the market. I think market's doing something else, right? But just watch the profiles. I'm telling you, the volume is the only friend that you have. If you haven't read any books, Mind Over Markets, even Anna Cooling, she has a good book, right, about volume. And there's a lot of, markets and profile books. Everything leads to volume. That's the only thing that doesn't lie, guys. The only thing that doesn't lie is volume. People say price is the one that pays, but yeah, price is the one that pays. But if there's no volume, an auction has no volume, what happens to the price?
Go
It
down.
finds wherever the volume is.
Exactly. It goes back to where the demand is. So people that exclude volume from their analysis and only say price base, I'm telling you, they're rookies into the market. They've never put a foot on their floor or maybe even been to New York. Like they have no fucking idea what the hell they're doing if they only consider price to be the key component of the market. Why are they not buying the well, I guess if it's the price, they should be buying at 170 with both hands, right? If that's them, they should be buying at these levels like it's a really good discount. 10% discount is huge.
Yeah, the volume makes the most sense. It
Yeah,
always
there's three
proves itself
components.
right.
The volume justifies the price. Time gives you the opportunity, right? And price is a discovery thing, right? And those three components you cannot trade without. And that's, you know, when I look at these things, when I look at ES, when I tell you these value areas, when I mark these levels, I don't mark them to mark my charts pretty or whatnot. It's to understand the opposites, right? If the PV value area high is failing, right, like we did see it on Apple and a few other stocks, the opposite is immediately triggered. The algos and all those things are programmed to buy the previous, you know, the opposite value area lows or sell at the value area highs. That's where institutions, the big boys, sell. They're not interested, you know, in a PD POC unless they're intermediate trader, right? When you have longer traders, like longer distance, right? Swing traders and long time frame traders, they look a bigger picture to trade, right? And they don't take as many trades as, you know, let's say me and you or Freed that took 72 2 weeks ago.
Oh no.
So just know the opposites will always attract. And I mean, even think about your whole life. I would say that rule applies. If you have a significant other, it works the same way. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. That's it for me for tonight. And as long as you're below this POC, your sentiment if you're trading tonight's bearish.
Have a good night, Shorty. Take care.
All right,
All
guys.
right, thanks, Shorty. See you
Very
tomorrow.
good, bro.
Thank you, Shorty. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good morning.